Hi, this is Chris Bayaki with Resolute Philanthropy, and I want to talk a little bit today about the questions that we answer when we talk to our donors or when we tell our donors about our organization. And here's what I mean. My instinct when I first started in fundraising was to talk a lot about what my nonprofit did and how my nonprofit did it. And that's great content. There's a lot you can talk about. Like, for example, when I worked for Habitat for Humanity of Orange County, I could talk a lot about what we did. What was the latest house we built? How many houses did we build in this last city? What is our process for securing land or engaging volunteers? And that information is important and interesting, and there's certainly no shortage of it. But when I started talking to donors and volunteers about the why, that's when things I think really got interesting. Again, to use this example from my career, when I started talking about why we believed homeownership was the key to family stability, why we put this part of construction or this type of construction at the heart of our mission, that started to really unlock conversations with donors and volunteers, not just about what we were doing, but why we were doing it. Because then it raises the second question, well, why is this important to you as a donor? And so all of a sudden, we're going from talking about facts and figures or processes, and we're starting to talk about feelings, and we're starting to talk about values, and we're starting to talk about the cause. And when we can connect donors with the cause and help them see that they have a place in our cause alongside us, that's when real connection is going to happen. And that is, I think, one of the most important features of a donor relationship is donors have to feel like they belong. And they're not going to belong to your mission if they all they know about your mission is what you do. I mean, they might like it, but I think that real impact, that real long-term connection that we're hoping for comes from conversations that are rooted in that why element. So, when you're thinking about what your nonprofit does, maybe your nonprofit is a food bank, maybe your nonprofit is an animal rescue, maybe your nonprofit is supporting the growth of a particular sport. I really encourage you to think beyond what you're doing and to really think about why you're doing it. In other words, it's very rarely about the thing we're doing alone because we are doing a thing in service of something bigger than ourselves, in support of or in service of a cause or community. And it's in unlocking that information and telling stories around that topic that we can really get donors to connect with us and support us and be part of our story. So, if you want to talk more about the stories you're telling to your donors, or talk about ways you can be telling better stories to your donors, drop me a message. I would love to sit down with you and see what we can do together. If you have questions about this, again, drop a message and keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.